Hey guys, Caddy to the Llama coming back at you with another anime review. Today I'm going to be talking about the Netflix anime Grand Blue Fantasy, um, and it was a rather interesting anime because I guess it was based on a mobile RPG game under the same title, Fantasy, um, and I'd never played the game before. Uh, did a little research. I thought maybe I kind of, there's a bunch of these type of RPG games, made in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, for the PlayStation 1 and then PlayStation 2. There's a whole bunch of RPGs in this category. So, I went and did a little research and no, it's a very recent mobile RPG, for the PC and for, um, Android and iPhones and stuff like that. So definitely something I haven't played or anything like that. Um, so I don't know how similar it is to the game. Um, the characters in the show, um, we start off with, uh, you know, about three or four main characters. Yeah, the two main characters, Gran and Lyria, we're introduced to in the first episode. Um, and then we meet. It's very RPG like, where throughout each episode we go to a new location, we pick up a new character that joins the group, and the group becomes bigger. We get Rackham and EO and a whole bunch of people. We start picking up. Um, the characters, pretty straightforward. There's nothing really complicated about the characters. If anything, I would say they made everybody like really agreeable. That was one thing I noticed. Like, there's no real conflict in this anime outside of like the conflict with the empire that they're fighting with. Everybody is always saying I'm sorry. Everybody's always helping each other. There's really no conflict in this in where this anime takes place. It's a very it seems to be a very nice world. I wish people were more like that in the real world, but um, I would say that they could have done a few things differently. The main character Lyria um, has the most annoying high pitched voice. It's got one of those average, very common anime girl high pitched voices, very annoying. We have ourselves an animal, Vern. He's like a flying lizard dragon. Very annoying. He constantly is talking about how he's going to get things done, and yep, it's because of me and Gran. But really, Vern actually does nothing. He's just kind of just there all the time. Um, Story wise, not too complicated. Very RPG like. If you've ever played any RPGs, if you've ever played any Final Fantasy game, very similar. You know, um, got missions, go to this town, got to save these people, got to gather magical beasts that the main character Lyria can summon. We have each character is different. We have our frontline fighters and Gran, and then I can't remember the other girl's name. It's like Alexandria or something like that. And then we have our magician and EO, and then we have our gun guy and Rackham. Like everybody has their role, just like in an RPG. Um, and uh, we go to a new island, we go to a new place, we gather another summoning, we get another primal beast. There's a little bit of conflict. We run into a little bit of the Empire. They try to steal Lyria. Um, Nothing too complicated, you know. So Lyria is, we never really find out what she is. All we know is that she has some pretty intense magical powers, and the Empire had her in confinement for a very long time. We don't know really anything else. She doesn't remember her parents. We don't know where she came from, anything like that. And we don't learn it in the first season of the show. Um, they leave a lot of holes for us to hopefully find out in season two. Um, Animation style, it's pretty good. It's a mix of um, a lot of different kinds of styles. We have a little bit of CG, and and then there are times where the shots are really, there's this new style that's been around for the last couple of years where the lines are real rough, um, and the colors are more faded pastel type colors, and the colors are kind of mixed together a little bit, and it's just different, and it's not bad. It's just it's just a newer style that's been around, that's been coming up the last couple of years, and we see a little bit of that, and then we see times where where everything is super sharp, super precise, and that's probably just the fact that these types of studios definitely are employing more than one type of artist. It's not one guy drawing this entire thing, so we're gonna have a little bit of different styles at different times, and we see that throughout the show. It kind of it morphs back and forth at times, from scene to scene, but nothing very bad. Um, I would say the art style is probably S tier art. It's rather very good. No issues or anything like that. I thought it was really really good. Story, I thought pretty average. There was nothing really different or amazing with the story, especially with it being made from it took its source material from a video game, which, the video game then took all of its source material from the entire history of the genre. So, it's probably a B tier story. Um, Main characters falling in love, uh, gaining strength, gaining numbers. Um, yeah, probably a B tier story. Uh, Characters, A tier, B tier, somewhere high B tier, low A tier, just because it's also very, it's very much like the genre. Like there's nothing that's gonna surprise you about these characters, except for the fact that there's no conflict within the group. I mean, there is one relationship between Rackham and Eo where they kind of have like a brother sister type vibe, where they're always kind of just pushing each other and like just picking on each other, and other than that, there's like no conflict. It's actually kind of off-putting how much these people are apologizing and standing up for each other, and it's actually kind of off-putting compared to other animes. So, other than that, it was a decent show. There's no real blood or anything like that. There is a little bit right at the beginning. Gran gets hurt really, really bad, um, and there are a few other things throughout the show, but nothing too dramatic. So if you wanted to watch it with your kids, it wouldn't be too bad. There is fighting and conflict with the Empire. Um, there is some scantily dressed women, but nothing, no nudity or anything like that. So it's not too bad. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's something that you could probably watch with your kids. My daughter watched the last couple episodes and thought it was actually really enjoyable. She wanted to go back and watch some of the other stuff, some of the other episodes in it. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I would give it a pass. It's something that was definitely entertaining. If you're maxed out on your anime and you want to see something new, it's not too bad. Definitely nothing you haven't seen before, though. So just take that for what it is, and that's pretty much it. So I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'll hit me up in the comments, like, subscribe if you enjoyed the review. Let me know if you guys seen the anime, and then tell me if you've played the game. I would like to know how close the game is to the show, because at one point in one of the episodes, they're introducing a whole bunch of characters to the show that I'm assuming are in the game or references to the game that they're just putting in to make everybody happy. And they're only in it for like 10 minutes. But yeah, just let me know if you've seen both, seen the show and played the game, and just let me know how familiar they are. I would like to know it. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.